It's showtime, folks.
Howdy, partners. Welcome back. Hawks dropped 3-2 to the Oilers today. Unfortunate. Definitely, it was a fun game. It was a fun game. I thought the Hawks played really well. I thought they deserved this one, to be honest with you. I'm glad they at least got a point out of it. But, yeah, when this game went to overtime, I kind of had a feeling I knew I was going to end. The Oilers are kind of OP when it comes to 3-on-3 overtime, especially when you have McDavid, Draisaitl, the McDry connection, and just all the top-end talent that team has. I kind of had a feeling the game was going to end the way it did, but hey, I thought it was a positive game for the Hawks. They get a point out of it. Clearly the biggest sports game of the day, especially the biggest sports game of the day involving a Canadian team in a big market American squad. I think we can all agree this was the biggest one of the day. But no, in all seriousness, that was a shame. I was hoping for the Blue Jays. Even though they're the Canadian squad, I was hoping for them. I'm just sick of the Dodgers. I mean, they've won, 3 World Series now the past 5-6 years. Three in the 2020s decade. So I was up for the Blue Jays. I like that team. Would have been cool to see them win it. I don't think they've won a World Series in 3 decades too. So, and I'm sick of the Dodgers, man. No, Ohtani is just, I don't know, that team has everything, man. That market has everything, and I would have liked to see it for the Toronto Canadian faithful. They're used to all the Game 7 chokes from the Maple Leafs, and I guess now the Blue Jays can add their name there. So unfortunate for them. It looked like they had it. They just kind of choked it. And, I was hoping the Oilers would choke this one away. Unfortunately, it didn't quite happen. The Oilers got some Canadian retribution there by taking this game in overtime. But no, I mean, we'll get into this one. We'll get into it. We'll go into order here. I mean, like chronological order of how the game happened. We could start overtime, but we'll finish with overtime. But yeah, first period, the Hawks are buzzing right away. The Hawks started this game off pretty damn well. You could tell they had a bad taste in their mouth in the last game, right? The 6-3 loss in Winnipeg on Thursday. And this was a much better play game. Hawks played much better today. Knight was much better. Knight was sharp tonight. He was really good. What was that? 28 saves, 30 shots, or 27 saves, 30 shots. He was fantastic tonight. I was a little surprised they went back to him. I thought they might switch to Soda after, obviously his rough outing on Thursday. Again, it wasn't all him. A lot of it was, Hawks didn't play that great. Had a lot of defensive lapses in that game. But it wasn't Knight's best game either. Probably his worst of the year. But hey, I mean, good on the Hawks, the coaching staff, Jeff Blashill, for being like, you know what? We're going to put our trust in Knight. And hey, bud, let's bounce back here. We know what you are. We know what you can do. And Knight, he took that faith that the team put him, and he delivered. I mean, he had a really good game today. Really sharp, and looked like the Spencer Knight that we've grown accustomed to seeing this season. So, I wasn't really quite sure about that at first, but I thought it worked out pretty nicely. And Knight was sharp tonight. He was great. So, props to the Hawks for kind of giving that trust. Be one bad game is not going to necessarily get you the yank. So. Especially when all season he's played so well to the point where he's stolen us games and won us games he probably shouldn't. So I think you got to pay it forward, right? I think Knight has earned that kind of level of trust. So good to see that. But yeah, no, Hawks start the game off really well. Both the Bedard and Nazar lines were absolutely buzzing, especially the Bedard line. The Bedard, Burakovsky, Green line. I mean, I owe Jeff Blashill an apology. I was not familiar with that man's game. I wasn't quite sure about when I saw Burakovsky and Green, placed on Bedard's wing a couple games ago. I was like, I don't know about this one. Is this the best we can do here? But hey, both Burakovsky and Green have complimented Bedard very nicely. I've liked the way this trio has looked, and I'd say let's keep rolling with it as long as it works, right? I think that line's looked really good. Especially in the first period, they got some looks. Nazar had some looks too. I think he had a poster, crossbar. Bedsy had a chance to. Couple missed opportunities there, but no, both those lines are cooking right away. Oilers got the first big chance of the game after that. Spencer Knight, a penalty shot, and he made the save on, I believe it was Vasily Podkolzin, I believe he made the save, if I'm not mistaken. So, that's when he saw it right away. I think it got Knight into the game. He had the confidence right away, and I think that helped him out there a lot. So, you don't see a lot of penalty shots these days. You don't see them up very often, so when you do see them, it's a big deal. But I think goalies are so good on the breakaways. Now I think they have to beat the shootout. Since the shootout came in the game in 2005, there's been a lot more, breakaways in that standpoint. So, the goalies have to be sharper from that regard. So I think you'd almost rather take the power play these days. You'd rather take the 2-minute power play and say you probably have a better chance to deliver on the power play than the penalty shot these days. I think it's a debate. I think even Rick Ball and Tony Granato were debating that in the booth. Would you rather have a power play or the penalty shot? I'd probably take the power play. I'd rather take the 2 minutes probably. Plus, that's 2 minutes you're wearing down the other team, right? If you don't score the power play, it's you're getting chances, you're getting shots, you're getting momentum, right? If you don't score a penalty shot, it's that just gives the other team a ton of momentum, right? And that's kind of what happened, I think, there with the Hawks. The Oilers got power play, pretty much right after that. Draisaitl scored a buzzer beater. He thought he scored a buzzer beater at the end of the period, but he was about 0.8 seconds off there. So his goal was waved off there. So time was on the Hawks side there. But he took that personally. Leon Draisaitl took that personally, and the Oilers start the second period off, still have a minute left in the power play, and Draisaitl gets that one back from McDavid. McDavid to Draisaitl on the power play, it's automatic. The Oilers power play cooks it over 30%, and it's automatic, man. It's hard to stop them. The Edmonton power play merchants. I'm just kidding, but I'm not entirely kidding, though. I mean, tonight, I thought the Hawks were the better team at even strength. I thought 5-5. I thought the Hawks were the better team. The Oilers took advantage of the special teams, man. They took advantage of the power play. Went 2 for 3 there. Hawks only got one power play, I believe, but they did score on it later in the game. Pretty much right after the Oilers' power play. Connor Bedard, hell of a setup there. He sets up Tyler Bertuzzi on a tee, net front for the tip-in goal. Just the tip from Tyler Bertuzzi. So, for Bedard, assist in the game. That's 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points in 12 games for Connor Bedard, man. And Bedard was fantastic tonight. He only had the 1 assist, but he was phenomenal. He was fantastic. That line was buzzing all game. Not the first time, but the first time, and not the last time that line would get on the board in this game. They get on the board later in the game. We'll get to that later. But no, Bedard was great today. Had a lot of good looks. You could just tell he was moving out there. His feet was moving. He was buzzing. Making plays out there. He just seemed really confident all night. And not just from the offensive standpoint, but the defensive standpoint as well. I think I lost count of the amount of takeaways that he had. His faceoffs were good. There wasn't really any negatives in Bedard's game tonight. His all-around game this year, everybody talks about the offense, but the all-around game for Betsy this year has been just on another level. His defensive all-around game has come a long way, and even his neutral zone play too. I think all 3 facets of the game, all 3 zones, has been better, and special teams as well. He was quarterback in the power play like Kaner on that power play opportunity there. So you'll have to see that. Good to see the Hawks power play getting the board, right? It's an area they need to improve. So, but no, it's good. It's good to see. Hopefully, keep seeing improvement there. Oilers get another power play after that, and unfortunately, they strike again. Jack Roslovic this time. They signed him in the offseason from McDavid. So McDavid 2 assists in the power play. He was cooking the power play. Not very noticeable at even strength. I will say Connor McDavid was pretty quiet tonight when it came to even strength play, but the special teams, and you give that guy the time and space, he's going to deliver, and he did it pretty much every chance he got. So Oilers take the 2-1 lead. Then at 2-1 lead there heading the third period. Voice crack. Always get another power play to start the third. Hawks finally get a kill. So third time's the charm. Hawks finally get a kill. And then the Hawks get opportunity later in the game. Andre Burakovsky. That man has been cooking. Andre Burakovsky from Artie Levshinov and Ryan Green. Artie Levshinov makes a fantastic play there to cut in, sets up Burakovsky on a tee there. And I got to say, I gotta give a huge credit to Artie Party Levshinov. I know that's a guy that I have slandered a bit this year. He's been a lot better lately. He's starting to show that improvement. I thought this was far and away Artie Levshinov's best game of the year. Not just the setup and the goal there, but I thought his defensive play was a lot stronger today. I thought his breakouts were smoother. I thought he was seeing the ice better, making better decisions with the puck, right? Not as much turnovers tonight. I thought Levshinov was great. I think this was his best game of the year, and maybe his best game of the show, even dating back to last year. I thought Levshinov was fantastic today. So, gotta give him a ton of credit there. In fact, I'm checking the Hawks game scorecards for this game, and Levshinov was second on the team. I think it was Burakovsky, Levshinov, Bedard had the 3 biggest impacts on this game, at least according to the advanced analytics. But I would agree with the advanced analytics in that way. I would say if I had to give it 3 stars to the Hawks, it'd be them and Knight. I thought all 3 of them were absolutely fantastic. Green as well. Ryan Green got a secondary assist in that goal too, and he's complimented Burakovsky and Bedard really well. I think Bedard and Burakovsky are definitely the 2 that drive that line. You can see the chemistry of those 2. They just see each other on ice. They're just finding each other out there, right? The possession with that line has been absolutely fantastic, right? Even today, it's like every time that line's out there, a lot of times today it felt like they're on a power play, right? They were kind of dominating the ozone chances. They were the ozone looks, and oftentimes they're faced off against the McDavid line, and they were cooking them. So, to be able to go up against the McDavid line and kind of dominate them at even strength to the point where McDavid wasn't even that noticeable tonight, outside the power play, that says a lot right there. That says a lot. And the Nazar line as well, I thought matched up. Actually, sorry, it was the Nazar line that was mostly matched up against the McDavid line, and then the Bedard line was mostly matched up against the Draisaitl line. So I switched that one up, but still, I thought the Nazar line was good as well. Tavo, Burton, Nazar, those 3 have been pretty much inseparable, and I thought they were really strong as well. Had a few chances, weren't quite able to bury one today. Bertuzzi did in the power play, but even strength, that line wasn't able to get on the board. But I thought Nazar had a good game, no points, but I thought he was very good as well. Had a lot of chances, just wasn't able to get on the board there. And Tavo and Burton complimented him pretty well there from that regard. So that was good to see as well. But Burakovsky ties the game up, sends the game to overtime. Good to get a point, but when the game went to overtime, I kind of, like I said, kind of in the intro, I had a feeling I knew it was going to end. The Oilers, 3-3. It's hard to beat them there. That's a team when they have time and space with their top players on the ice. It's just, you're going to have a hard time. And they dominated possession. the possession game, we dominate for the most part, even strength. But yeah, when you get the special teams rolling and 3-on-3, yeah, the Oilers dominated that overtime. They had pretty much all the looks. We had one good chance with Connor Bedard. Bedard had a glove chance on a Stuart Skinner was shut down. Actually, that may have been in regulation. I think the Bedard chance I'm referencing, but the Hawks did get one chance. I think in the 3-on-3. I think it was from Bedard. I don't remember exactly who it was from, but the Hawks they weren't able to get much roll in the 3-on-3. The Oilers just from the opening puck drop there, kind of dominated possession, dominated the looks, and eventually give that team like that enough chances they're going to bury one, and because they're going to get the Hawks tired and kind of chasing the game from that standpoint. Almost got to a shootout. I believe it was with like 2 minutes left or something like that, but. Oilers finally deliver. Evan Bouchard. Hawks made Evan Bouchard look good tonight, so that's not ideal. Evan Bouchard cleaned up his own kind of look there and was able to bury it for the Oilers and, give them the win. So, retribution for the Toronto Blue Jays, right? Evan Bouchard wins the game for the Oilers. So, that was unfortunate, right? It was definitely a heartbreaking loss. Definitely the most heartbreaking sporting loss of the day, right? Definitely of the night. 9 o'clock start tonight. So, but the energy was high. The energy was high for a 9 o'clock start. I think it was a good day. It was a big day for sports, right? Yeah, not the outcomes we wanted, but just a lot of good games overall. A lot of fun games to watch, and this was definitely a fun game to watch for sure. Skinner was strong tonight. We were slandering him a little bit in the pregame, but he was strong. 27 saves, 29 shots, so he was good today. Big reason why the Oilers came away with this one. I thought the Hawks' first line, they had they got on the board today. They probably should have gotten the board multiple times the way they looked. Skinner shut down Bedard a few times. Bedard should have had a goal in this one. He should have had a goal in this one. He was robbed a few times. One of his better games. He had a penalty, but otherwise, it was a really good game for him. A Connor penalty, I believe, in this game. It was Bedsy on Connor. McDavid comes away with this Connor matchup. Unless you consider the Connor matchup to be Connor Brown versus Connor Murphy. In that case, I'd say Brown came away with that one because Murphy, it was another rough game from him. But not the first time we've seen that from him this year. Always come away with this one. It was a fun game. It was a fun game. Again, not the outcome we wanted, but I thought it was a fun game overall. We'll always go 2 for 3 in the power play, 66.7%, 6-7. Hawks go 1 for 1, so power play is perfect. Only have one chance. Of course, the Canadian team gets 2 more power plays than us because, of course, they do. I'm just playing there. I'm just trying to rile up the Oilers fans, right? Clearly, the Hawks lost this one to the Canadian refs once again. I'm just kidding. We're using humor here, right? That's a joke, right? I'm just putting that out there because it's gonna be just that one guy who takes it seriously. I'm not allowed to have fun. Apparently, everything's got to be serious all the time. No fun allowed. But the Hawks almost got this one to the shootout, but just weren't quite able to do it. You had a feeling it was a matter of when, not if, the Oilers were going to come away with that one overtime the way they were dominating the looks and possession. So it is what it is there. Otherwise, like I said, I thought the Hawks had a strong game. Some other notes here. It was good to see Mikheyev get back in. I thought Mikheyev had a strong game. Mikheyev. I thought he looked good. Didn't miss a step there. Dickinson was out, but it's good to see him draw back in, especially for the penalty kill, right? If you're without both Dickinson and Mikheyev, you're going to have an issue, but the fact that Mikheyev's able to draw back in, I think helped the penalty kill out there. So, we went 1 for 3 from that regard, so I guess I shouldn't say helped us out too much, but it's hard to beat that Oilers power play, man. No matter how good your penalty kill is, that Oilers power play is just automatic, man. It's hard to beat that power play, so, yeah. It is what it is there. But unfortunately, it goes down as a Hawks lose but Bedard point night, unfortunately. Hawks lose but Artie point. Back-to-back games of a point for Artie. Back-to-back games of a goal for Burakovsky. Bedard's on a streak right now. So there's still a lot of good things to take away. There's still a lot of good things to take away even after a loss like this. I thought it was a much more positive loss than the Jets game. I thought the Hawks played a much stronger game. All 1-1 the road trip, 1 point out of a possible 4 so far. Thankfully, we leave Canada, though, and about time, and head over to Seattle for the next one, I believe, on Monday. So Seattle Kraken, that's another 9 o'clock start, so can't wait for that. But, we'll have the pre and post game. We'll probably do the pregame tomorrow night. I didn't do it Friday night. I didn't do it yesterday for today's game just because it was Halloween. I figured nobody's going to watch it, so I did it today instead in the morning. But we'll probably do the pregame tomorrow night and then the post game, obviously Monday night for that game. And obviously that'll be the next Hawks game on Monday. We got Chicago Bears game tomorrow. I believe they play the Bengals or something like that. Let me check and see. Bears play the Bengals tomorrow, so hopefully we come away with that one. Chicago Bears 4-3. Hopefully we can improve to 5-3 there, right? Get the playoff push back rolling there, right? As for the Hawks playoff push, I believe we did get a point in this one, so we have 13 points, right? So that's 5-4-3, 13 points. And where does that put us in the wild card race? We're out of the playoff spot right now. Yeah, the Kings bumped us out, but yeah, we're tied the Ducks there for the top spot outside the wild card race. So hopefully we can squeeze back in there, right? The Oilers take the wild card matchup there and get back to top 3 in the Pacific. So again, we're in November, early days here, but it's fun to at least be watching early the season, the playoff race, and actually act like we're in it, even though we're definitely not in it. But it's fun to pretend that we are. It's not something that we as Hawks fans are used to in recent years. So hey, for now we're still above 100. We're still punching above our weight. And that's the thing. Like, this was a loss, but it was a close loss. It was a narrow edge, right? I thought the Hawks, like I said, I thought they were the better team, even strength, just special teams in 3-on-3 play. The Oilers took advantage of it, and that's what good teams are going to do. At the top end, they're going to come away with games like that. So good game for the Hawks, good learning experience, right? A lot of positive take away. Weren't quite able to finish tonight, but again, a lot of good things to take away in this game. I'm not really too upset about this loss. More just upset from the heartbreaking standpoint because I thought the Hawks deserved this one. But there have been a few games this year where the Hawks lost in kind of a close fashion. You could say maybe they deserved you get the second point there, and I think this was one of them. Yeah. But yeah, I believe that's all I got for this one. We'll keep this one short and sweet. It's later, right? I do think we get an hour back tonight, but still, it's still pretty late here. I'm feeling pretty tired, and I think I need to get some sleep. So yeah, we'll leave this one shorter and sweet. Thank you all so much for watching. I believe we're at 584 subs, so subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting close to 600 subs there, so I really appreciate that a lot. The support means a ton. Means the world to me. And as we approach a new month here, a new month of November there. No, not November. I'm just playing. But the real ones, no. The real is that still a thing? I don't even know. I don't even know if it's still a thing. But yeah, no. Like this video, share it around, friends, family, loved ones, whoever it is. Appreciate that a lot. And yeah, we will see y'all in the next one. P-Hawk Beams out, baby. Have a good night. Bye bye.